The Caribbean British territory of Montserrat has called for leaders of the overseas territories to hold regular meetings and work together as one bloc in order to achieve mutual success. The subject of unity among the territories and the idea of closer cooperations on key issues such as energy dominated the talk show Territories Talk. Tarai Trott tells us more.
Is it time for the British overseas territories to work together as one? It was the subject of discussion during the most recent edition of the Territories Talks talk show under the theme Unifying the Overseas Territories, featuring co-host and Bermuda MP Chris Famous. The show, which is available to watch on YouTube under the channel Territories Talks, featured special guest Joseph Farrell, the Premier of the Caribbean territory of Montserrat. Mr. Farrell taking the opportunity to call for more coordination and cooperation among the 5 Caribbean territories and Bermuda.
At the last GMC, which was held in November last year, we were much more coordinated in our approach. As a matter of fact, we met before we went to London in a Zoom meeting to organize our discussion. And when we met in London, we actually met in Yokota, where we delegated the Premier of Bermuda as a spokesperson for us at the introduction of GMC. And he articulated the positions of the OTs in relation to our relationship with the UK and other areas of concern. So this is the kind of forum that I expect us to have, not just at GMC, but during the year, so that we can coordinate our efforts.
Premier Farrell and the show's 3 hosts agreeing it is important for leaders of the overseas territories to visit each other's islands on a regular basis to foster unity and learn from each other. Another hot-button issue raised by co-host Eden Hurlston of the Cayman Islands is sustainable and renewable energy, which has been identified by the Bermuda government as a priority towards stimulating economic growth. Premier Farrell called for the overseas territories to combine their knowledge and resources as a group.
We have the resources. We have sunlight. We have wind. And some of us have volcano. And we have to maximize the volcano. Whatever threat the volcano poses to us, we have to piggyback on it. So we have used our geothermal energy.
Another subject that was up for discussion was the more contentious topic of independence, which currently does not enjoy widespread support in any of the 14 overseas territories. However, Mr. Farrell, responding to host Shana Smith Archer of the British Virgin Islands, stated his belief that every territory should ultimately aim towards political independence.
All of our constitutions within the OTs gives us that right to self-determination. Yeah. It's a right that we can ask for, and we can take it if the people want it. But we must, and we must never decide that we don't want to move from where we are.
One issue discussed in Bermuda from time to time is the so-called brain drain that sees Bermudians going overseas for higher education and later reluctant to return home to employ their talents, an issue facing other overseas territories.
What we have in our countries, it's a you and us, or us and them mentality. And I would want us to be able to break away from that us, the person who would have left us 26 years ago, who might be willing to come back. Some of them, when they return, are not welcome into the environment because they are just coming back. Right. And the sooner we can break out of that mentality, the better it is for us, will be for us to attract those young brains back to Ireland to contribute for development.